the good life, full of fun.
Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. Got a question for you. Do you guys like Italian sausage with peppers and onion sandwich? Oh my God, I love it. I'm gonna show you how to make an Italian sausage with peppers and onion sandwich. And we're really gonna step out of the box. By that, we're gonna put it in an authentic Italian-American style. By that, what do I mean? We're gonna make a buttered garlic sauce with all the essential herbs of Italy, okay? Oregano, basil, rosemary, thyme, and so forth. We've got pecorino romano, we've got parmesan, which is gonna give you that creamy feel. Now this is fresh mozzarella, so this isn't mozzarella, if you will, the hardened type. This is fresh mozzarella, which will usually come in water. We're gonna use butter, olive oil, pepper, salt. I've got some fresh, healthy sausage, great stuff. So I'm going to show you how to mix this together, and we're going to crisp up that bread. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. So talking about bread, I got to give a shout out to Jasmine and Mackenzie from Rise Bread, and they have a place right here in Cazenovia. Their website is www.riseartisan.com, and they just stopped over. Her husband this morning stopped over, gave me a fresh loaf of bread, 2 actually this morning, right? Is that awesome? And I gotta tell you, there's nothing better to have with them. Here's my little plug, shameless plug, Vito and Joe's olive oil. If you guys haven't seen some of our videos, my son, his name's Vito, my other son's name's Joe, and we've got a farm right out in Italy. You can go right to our website, Cooking Italian with Joe. You can click right on olive oil. You can get a bottle. We've got half-liter bottles right now that are being shipped right over from Italy. They're fantastic. So what I did here, as I said, we've got all ingredients. Simple way to do it. I'm going to take a bowl, and I'm going to take my peppers and onions and so forth, which I got right over here. All right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start slicing this stuff up. All right? I'm going to kind of open up my board here a little bit. And then, once I start cutting this up, isn't that a beautiful bowl, by the way? Did I tell you that? I got that from Cazenovia Cut Block. Gotta love that guy. Timmy Hughes. So what I'll do is I'm going to slice these up, and I'll tune back with you in a minute, all right? There's a couple ways you can do this. I see some people do it the way I'm doing it here, right? Which is the way that I like to do it. Certainly you can lay it down. I like that because then I don't get too much of a waste. Sometimes you can cut around it. Doesn't really matter. So I'm going to cut all these across. I'm going to basically julienne them. I'm going to slice them in thin layers. I'm going to take the onion and I'm going to roast it. I'm going to put it on something really hot. I'm going to cover it with olive oil. I'm going to roast it. I want to get that nice roasted kind of blackened flavor. Then I'm going to put them in a pan and I'm going to cook them down, break them down. Oh my God, they're going to take delicious with some butter and some olive oil. And then again, we're going to drizzle that all over the top. It's going to be fantastic. So I'll talk to you guys in a couple minutes. Okay guys, welcome back. What I did is I took about 1.5 to 2 peppers, green, yellow, orange. I did that for flavor, but also aesthetics. You know, it looks beautiful, nice and bright, right? I took a white onion, 1 white onion, I cut it thick, and then I cut it in half, all right? So what I want to do is I'm going to take the onion, the 1 onion, I'm going to pop it in there, right? And I've got my peppers, and I'm going to take, say, a 1/4 cup of olive oil, right? I'm going to put some salt, fresh ground pepper. I'm almost out of pepper on that one. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to roast this, okay? So I'm going to take a little salt, you know, about a teaspoon, a little bit more than a teaspoon, and then I'm going to mix it, all right? So, now why am I doing that? Because I want everything to be covered with oil. I want everything to be covered with a little bit of oil and a little bit of seasoning. And what that's going to do is that when you fry it, the oil gives the heat something to sear. The oil is going to get hotter than the moisture, than the water. And it sears it. It keeps the moisture in, but it also gives it a nice roasted flavor on the outside. So that's what you want, okay? Then, once we get that roasted flavor, and I got this thing hot behind me, let me tell you. Then what we're going to do is we're going to cook it down, and I got a, if you will, a Dutch oven, a cast iron pan with a lid. And we'll cook all that down. That's really good. I'm just going to throw, just because I'm an olive oil freak here. I'm going to throw a little bit more on there, okay? So I've got that olive oil going. Now you got to watch it because olive oil can burn fast and it can also start a fire, so take it easy. I will tell you one thing disappointing. We wanted to try to do this outside on the grill because you can do this inside just as easily. We do it in the winter, but you can do it outside, but the weather's not cooperating. So certainly you can do essentially everything we're doing right on the grill. We got our onions and our peppers, and again, just go slow. Oh yeah. And what we're looking for here, don't go too crazy and you're gonna have to take a few minutes, is you're looking for, see that moisture coming off? You're looking for some black. Because the black is gonna give you that roasted flavor, whether you're on the grill or whether you're here inside. The oil should help us so it doesn't stick, so I've got anything I need to get it off if it sticks, okay? Whoa! There we go, okay? So you want to do one layer at a time. Again, if you're on a grill, you're going to use one of them grill pans so everything doesn't fall through the rack, okay? And you're going to let that go no more than a couple minutes. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put that pan on in the back. Now that's my Dutch oven, okay? And I'm going to put, again, a little bit of olive oil in there, just a bit. Say a quarter cup, just to cover the bottom of the pan, okay? Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this cook. It's going to get nice and black, and I'll show you. Once it gets nice and black, we'll turn it, okay? So you're getting a little bit of black on there right now. See it? See that black right there? That's what you want. Okay, guys, so look at this. See this black? I was going to do this, but I wanted to just show you. See how that's nice and black? So that's going to give you that roasted flavor. Now the pepper's not cooked all the way. I already know that, and that's fine. But once I get that blackened flavor, now I'm going to put it in the olive oil. Okay, and the olive oil is a little bit hot right now, but that's okay. I'm going to turn that down a little. I have it low, but I'm going to even turn it lower because now that's going to cook it. These are going to get nice and soft. You're going to break down all the fiber inside the pepper, and every single one is going to be perfectly black, and that's okay. You just want to get a group of them so that when you're in the, and I don't mean to yell here, I'm just trying to talk over the fan, so that when you get the, oh yeah, that's good. So when you get them all in there, all the flavors of all of them start to marry together. Oh my God, it's going to be great, okay? So, all right guys, here we go. So, what I did is I just finished them up. So see, they're not fully cooked. So if you grab these, when I say fully cooked, you see how they still have some firmness to them? And that's the fiber within the vegetable, right? And that's okay. So what I'm going to do now is I've got the heat going. I'm going to put those in. That's exactly how I want. I got some black roast in there, right? I'm going to cover them up. And I'm going to seal it right now to get the heat up. And then once I get the heat up, I'm going to just crack it so that the steam gets out, all right? But right now I'm going to do that so I get the heat up. So that's number one. Number two, I want to get our buttered garlic sauce going, okay? So what I'm going to do is bring this across to the side, right? And I'm going to take my butter. Now I've got 2 sticks of butter is what I got, okay? And this is so easy, right? I've got around a teaspoon of rosemary and thyme, which are right there, oregano, basil, okay? So I've got that in there. Now I've got garlic, okay? So I'm going to put my garlic in there. In this case, we're not looking to roast it, all right? We're looking to saute it. So we want to really extract a lot of the flavors out of everything, okay? And then I've got olive oil. So I'm going to put olive oil. Now, the butter I put in there is salted, so I don't want to put a lot of salt in there, but I'm going to put about a half of a cup, maybe just under, of olive oil, and then I definitely want to put pepper in there. Crank it with a little bit of pepper. I've already got the salt, so I'm not going to add any other salt. And then, real simple, I'm going to put this on the front burner, and I'm going to put it on low. So I'm not going to crank the heat. I don't want to burn it. I don't want to fry it. Okay? I'm going to put that on, and what's going to happen is the butter's going to melt. It's going to incorporate within all the herbs. It's going to incorporate within the olive oil. It's already doing it. And then it's going to really cook the garlic. And just like what's happening in our vegetables over here, the garlic's going to break down, almost become a mush, and it'll saute, sweat if you will, and almost go to a roast right near the end. Okay? And that's awesome. The good thing about adding olive oil to the butter is it allows you to raise the temp a little bit without causing any burn. Hey guys, all right, so now what I've got is hot sausage here, okay, which is nice and fresh. and I've got some sweet sausage, okay? Now, I already went ahead, just to give you a heads up here, my little mathematics, I already went ahead and cut the bread, and I split it, okay? So you don't split it all the way across the crust, okay? So just to give you an idea of how long, now the sausage is gonna shrink a little, and it's good to have it stick out a little bit, so we're gonna want it right about there, okay? And just to give you a heads up what I'm thinking, okay? Perfect. So I'm gonna cut it right across. That way I've got some perfectly cut, sweet, you can tell the difference by the color, the sweet and hot, okay? And I'll show you something else I do, just to, got a little extra there, that's fine. Just something I do which is just kind of fun, and it gives you an idea of what's happening inside, and it adds a little bit to the look. Is I always like to put a little, just a couple little slices. You don't want to go too deep. Okay, and what that'll do is that'll split. It'll get the steam out of the inside real easily. It adds a nice look to it, and it gives you an idea. When you see those splits really start to open up, and I just do it on one side, I mean really open, and then they basically stop opening, you know that your sausage is essentially cooked inside, okay? So it's beautiful. So the sausage is ready to go. I've got my butter going. I'm going to slide this across. And now we want to get that sausage going. Now I'm not going to do it in the middle, I'll tell you why, because it's going to get oil all over the house, so I don't want to do that, all right? So I'm going to put some olive oil, as always, right in the inside, and you're going to probably use about a quarter cup, no more than that, just to give you a heads up, all right? And this will heat up quick. The other tip I'll give you, if you're doing this inside, now remember, outside is great. I mean, this is a great recipe you can do on Memorial Day, Labor Day, but certainly if you're doing it inside, this is great. It's a spatter screen, and you can just put it across. You're not going to get your house all splattered with grease, okay? Now remember, you're dealing with some oil. There's a lot of moisture in there. When you put that in there, it's going to give it a little bit of an outside sizzle, right? And I don't know if my camera person can zoom in here, and we're going to ladle that on the inside of the bread when we toast it, and we're going to, beautiful. And then we're going to ladle a little bit on top before we hit it with the, oh, that's good. Can I try that? Oh my God. Oh my God, that is so good. And I'll tell you, when you incorporate that with the roasted pepper, and then you incorporate that with the sausage, and then the crust on the bread, and then you put the cheese on top, oh my God, it's gonna be unbelievable. All right guys, I'll talk to you in a minute. Hey guys, how you doing? All right, so I've got the butter going, I turned it way down, so that's simmering. Remember I told you on the peppers, what I'm gonna do is turn it down. I don't want them to get watery, right? Because there's a lot of water coming off. So I turn the heat down, and I'm cracking the top. So I've got all that steam coming off, okay? And then I've got a nice, the butter's cooking the garlic, but see how it's not frying? It's bubbling, so moisture's coming out, but it's not frying, okay? So I got that going. Now, this is hot. You see that's coming off, the steam coming off the oil? So just a little tip, a couple different ways to do this. I'm gonna just put one end down, put it down, and just cover it, okay? That way, what it's gonna do is it's gonna prevent all the, and I say one end down because what's gonna happen is you don't wanna put it all down or get your fingers on the bottom, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let that cook, like 4 or 5 minutes, then I'm gonna turn it 4 or 5 minutes, and then I'll check it. It's probably gonna take a good 10 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. You wanna make sure your sausage, you're dealing with pork, you wanna make sure your sausage is cooked all the way through, and that's that little idea I gave you. Putting those slits in there, you'll see them open. They'll open more, the casing will shrink. I'll tell you, it's gonna be perfect. So I'm gonna let these go. Now once I turn these a little bit more, I wanna get them out of there and let them cool. When I say let them cool, so you know you can touch them, I don't want them cold. And then I'm gonna start toasting my bread. I'm gonna start toasting my bread here in a few minutes. All right guys, see that? Now it's been probably 3 or 4 minutes, but I just wanted to show you, and let me get that out of the way. I just wanted to show you, see how the slits, you can see what's happening in there? See how the meat starts to push itself out? See how the outside's starting to get brown? That's beautiful. So this one I want to stay with it. Oh, look at that. See, and because you got a little bit of a bath, not a lot, just a little bit of a bath of oil, it sears that outside. Oh my gosh, see that crispiness that you get on the casing? It really seals you in. So figure 3 to 5 minutes, right? The oil's nice and hot. This guy's giving me a little trouble, but that's all right. You should. Now I'm flipping them the same way just so they fit the contour of the pan. Okay, you don't want to be too rough with them because they can, I'll turn that one this way. Because the meat, you don't want the meat to start breaking apart. Oh, that's beautiful, okay? So I'm gonna let, and what I love about the screens too is it lets the moisture out, right? So you don't have to worry about getting rubbery with the moisture. That's really hot. Woo! There you go, perfect. All right, good. So I've got the butter garlic going, right? And you're gonna see the garlic's really starting to break down now. When you touch the garlic, some of it will actually start to get kind of mushy, as opposed to, you can feel it kind of crunch. A couple of them I did still, so we're gonna just let that cook down a little bit more. In a few minutes, what I'll do is I'll start toasting up our bread, and oh my gosh, we're gonna be awesome. Look at that. Okay guys, we got the sausage going, we got butter, garlic, herb going, we've got the peppers going, everything's phenomenal. I wanna mix the cheeses. Now what I had to do was my son Vito doesn't want the Parmesan and the Romano cheese, so I had to take a little bit of the fresh mozzarella and separate it, okay? That's what you do for the people you love, right? So I'm gonna put, there's my, that's my Romano. Now Romano cheese is made from sheep's milk. Parmesan is made from cow's milk, okay? I'm gonna mix it up. Oh, look how beautiful it is. And I'm just gonna mix that up. Well, why am I mixing it? I want a perfect blend of all the cheeses. So when the mozzarella is gonna actually melt a lot faster than the Parmesan and the Romano. So that'll all get kind of gooey within itself. And the next thing I want to do is I want to start toasting the bread, okay? So real simple, I'm going to bring a piece of bread over, right? And I'm going to take the butter. Okay, make sure you get a mix of the herbs. So if you can come in there real quick. My lovely camera assistant. See it right there? So I want to get that, I just want to get some of that in there, right? And then you got olive oil, you got butter, and just spread it on the inside there. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, once I'm spread on the inside, I'm going to just put this over the top, and I'm going to let that toast. So I don't want to get it black in this case, but I do want it, I want to toast it. And why do I want to toast it? One, it's going to change the flavor of the bread, bring out different flavors when you heat something. Secondly, it's going to give it a texture. It's going to give it a crisp. Right, so you got those nice little bits of herb in there. Oh my gosh, it's awesome. Grab my next one. And again, you can do this easily on a grill. You do it up on the upper rack, right? Try not to get too much garlic in that one. Woo. Now what I've got this pan for is I'm going to make the sandwiches. I'm going to set them inside here. Then I'm going to put them in the oven, okay? And that's going to give me just a perfect holder. I didn't want to use like a cookie sheet. Let me slide that across so you guys can see. Look at this. If you can come in here real quick, I'm going to turn them one more time. Now, typically with meat, you see how much firmer they're getting now? So they're getting firmer. And when meat cooks, if you know, like from rare to, look at that, nice. See, it's caramelizing on the outside. That's absolutely perfect. And when meat gets more done, if you will, it's going to get firmer. So these are almost done. But what I want to do is I want to get that nice brown, beautiful, crisp feel all the way around, okay? And that is, oh my God, that's beautiful. And that's going to bring out sugars. A lot of people don't realize the meat will actually have sugar, so the meat itself will caramelize. All right, guys, I feel like I'm a mad chemist here making a chemistry experiment, okay? It's going to be a good one. So what I did here, as you guys remember, I toasted, right? So I toasted the bread, and some of it came apart, so that's fine. So I'm going to put some bread in there, right? Now I'm going to take some of the peppers, okay? I'm going to put that across. I don't want to go crazy with this because I'll do that after, actually, now that I think about it. Because the bottom's split on me, so if I don't do it that way, it's going to drizzle all over. So I'm going to take this, take one of these. It's perfect, I think. Yep, and I'm going to take a good hunk of peppers. See how nice and soft all that is? Oh my gosh, come on, perfect. I gotta tell you, the flavors in here, talk about smelling like you're in Italy here. So see how I got all that set? It's perfect. Then I'm gonna take Now in this case, I want more of the herb and the garlic, right? I don't want a ton of butter on there, right? So I'm going to get some of that bottom, some of them pieces, and I'm going to put that right across, all right? Just across. I want that garlic, that roast, that almost caramelized. I want those herbs, see that? See those herbs in there? Look at that. Okay? Put that across. Now, the fun part. Now my son wants a lot of thoughts here because I don't know which one my son would want the most, but I'm going to give him this one. So this, in this case, he just wants, can you guys sense the fact that I'm like, my mouth is watering right now and I'm trying, so he wants the mozzarella, the fresh mozzarella only, okay? So that's what I'm going to give him, all right? Now what we want, the rest of the family wants here, is we want the Parmesan and everything, okay? So you're going to see when you mix this, it's almost got like a little bit of a doughy consistency. So I'm going to put that across the top. And this really sets it up apart. And not to say that a great, you know, I'm sure we've all had great sausage sandwiches and they just pile on some mozzarella, and you can do that, certainly. And it doesn't taste as good unless you make a mess, which is what I'm doing right now. And so again, if you're doing this on the grill, you're going to do the same thing. You can put it in a pan, you can put it in aluminum foil. With that said, I'm going to pop this in the oven, and I'm going to turn up just a touch. I'm going to put it all the way to the back. And I'm going to put that, now that it's hot, I'm going to put that on a broil. So what that's going to do is going to get the top nice and hot. And again, I don't want to cook the whole sandwich all the way through. I want to cook the top, melt that cheese down. So I got that going. That's probably going to take no more than 3 minutes. We'll pull it out, plate it. I'll show you how delicious that is. I'll talk to you guys in a minute. Oh my God, are you guys ready? This kitchen, oh, are you serious? The smell. So I got that thing at about 400 degrees. Look at that. See how crispy the cheese is on the top? It's got that nice, and it's gooey. Oh, that is awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna put these here so I don't make the foolish mistake of grabbing the pan while it's still hot. Because yes, I do that. Plate it. Oh my God, look at that. And I'm doing it in a special order because I don't want to confuse my son who only wants mozzarella. Whoop, whoop, I'm losing a piece of sausage there. All right, and now one of the things you can do here, which is just brilliant, you want to take that other goo, you know, because you want that cheese gooey, isn't that great? That's a favorite. I don't know about you guys, but that's my favorite part. And seeing that I'm cooking it, I'm going to throw it up there. Okay, so let me do that. I'm going to have one bite of one of these puppies before the clam comes in. And I think it's going to be that one because that was the one I put the goo on. Now these are hot. But look at that. So you've got butter, garlic, herb, mozzarella, Parmesan, Romano, and you've got that sausage right in there with the onion all caramelized. This thing is just dripping with yum. Oh my God. Just the flavor on my fingers is good. Okay, here we go. I'm probably not going to be able to get the sausage in the first bite. I might have to do 2 bites on the camera here. Oh yeah. I'll tell you what's great. You guys like garlic bread. You know, it's got garlic bread with onion and pepper. Oh my God. Just that is delicious with the cheese. Mmm. Oh my God. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but you got the crunch of the butter, the garlic, the herb, the bread. Totally makes it. I mean, the bread just totally makes it. Trust me when I tell you, when this camera goes off, I'm manging on that one. I'm gonna have 2. Due panini. Capito? Oh my God. Guys, I gotta tell you, great day in the kitchen. Very much enjoyed spending some time with you, sharing one of my favorite recipes. Remember, something like this can be cooked out on the grill. I know I talked about it. We didn't really have a great day today to do it on the grill, but you can easily do it inside. I showed you how to do it. And remember, great dish to make with your family and friends. Certainly something to share with family and friends. And remember, your family is solely your life. Enjoy. Bon appetito. I'll talk to you guys next week.
You